Almost all great anime start out as great manga, with stories that range from daily life to intergalactic adventures. Manga has been a long-time staple of Japanese culture, with genres such as shoujo, shonen, adventure, fantasy, and even hentai, to name a few. There is a manga for everyone. For the sake of authenticity, we will not be looking at any manga series that were an anime series first. This is Baka's top 5 manga series of all time. Number 5. Fairy Tail. In a world filled with magical beings, human wizards have banded into guilds. One such guild, Fairy Tail, is notorious for both its power and its destructive tendencies. This is mostly thanks to one of its most powerful members, Natsu Dagneel. Along with members Lucy Heartfilia, Grey Fullbuster, and Urza Scarlet, Natsu travels the world taking contracts to help right wrongs. Throughout these adventures, the Fairy Tail crew has to battle dark guilds, evil wizards, and even demons. Having started in 2006 and still going, Fairy Tail is a series whose popularity only seems to be growing. Number 4. Love Hina. Take one 19-year-old guy and stick him in a house full of beautiful young women, all of whom are just a little bit nutty. And what do you get? The slapstick relationship comedy Love Hina. The story centers around Keitaro Urashima, a cram school student trying to fulfill a promise he made to a young love to get into Tokyo University. In order to make this dream a reality, Keitaro moves into his aunt's boarding house, a house filled with high school and college-age girls. Here he meets Naru Narusagawa, a beautiful but violent girl also trying to get into Tokyo University, who may or may not be the girl from Keitaro's past. The core of Love Hina revolves around the growing relationship between Keitaro and Naru. Known as a harem manga, many of the tropes of this genre are present, with the girls constantly being caught naked, turning ultra-violent, and developing a crush on the nerdy main character. All in all, it's a modern classic amongst comedy mangas. Number 3. Negima, Magister Negi Magi. At number 3, we have another title by Ken Akamatsu, creator of Love Hina. A different take on the harem manga, Negima is a school-based fantasy manga that follows child prodigy wizard named Negi Springfield, as he teaches middle school English at the all-girls Mahora Academy. Following the tropes of the harem manga genre, nearly all the girls in his class develop a crush on Negi, who is only 11 years old. The story focuses both on his relationship with student Asuna Karugazaka and his quest to find his father, the famed wizard Nagi Springfield, known as the Thousand Master, who disappeared after saving the magical world. While it does contain many of the stylings of harem mangas, it developed into more of a shonen action fantasy. Without spoiling the story, Negi and his class of 31 middle schoolers must use their individual strengths and abilities to continue his father's mission and save the magical world. Number 2. Chobits, a seinen manga from Clamp, the studio behind such series as Cardcaptor Sakura, Magic Knight Rayearth, and Angelic Lair. Chobits tells the story of a cram school student named Hideki Motosuwa, who dreams of owning a Persicom, an android used as a personal computer, a concept that was first introduced in the manga Angelic Lair. One evening, Hideki stumbles across a Persicom that resembles a teenage girl lying in the trash. Hideki takes her home and activates her, only to realize that she must be defective as she cannot perform any of the tasks that Persicoms are built for, and can only say the word Chi, which Hideki decides to name her. Chi has a childlike personality and is devoted to Hideki. Chi happens to be a prototype who was developed to have free will and the emotions of a real person. The main plot of Chobits revolves around Hideki's relationship with Chi, and how it develops like that of two people and not between man and machine. It is not simply about how Hideki feels, but also how Chi feels. Number 1. Lone Wolf and Cub. Normally, I prefer my manga to be lighthearted with a bit of action, but I can't look past one of the greatest manga series of all time, Lone Wolf and Cub. Kazuo Koike's masterpiece tells the story of Ogami Ito, a legendary swordsman who is the executioner for the shogun. After finding his family brutally murdered except for his infant son, Ogami is framed for an attempt on the shogun's life. Fleeing with his son, Ogami Ito becomes a ronin, a wandering, masterless samurai that must work for those who can pay. Ogami trains his son in the way of the sword and ultimately pays with his life in order for his son to close the circle of vengeance and hatred that he has known his entire life. So there you have it, geeks. These are my top manga series of all time. What are yours? Let me know in the comments down below. And while you're at it, you could do the whole like, subscribe, and share thing. Until next time, this is Baka telling you to keep it geeky.